Hello everyone.
Hi Ken.
Hello.
다시 델레기 실라.
다시 델레기 실라.
ken.
다시 델레기 실라. 델레기 실라. ken.
Delegi sila. Okay. So we'll start with position. Namo Manju Shri
Namo So Shri Namo
Dhamma Shri Soha. Namo Manju Shri Namo Su Shri Namo Dhamma Shri Soha. Namo Manju Shri Namo Su Shri Namo Dhamma Shri Soha. Janjo Bado Dani Gyasuji Dagi Chunye Gibe Tsunagi Jola Bechi Sangye Joba Ju Pegi Juji Meto Jan Rali Shin Yite Kembaji Sangye Shindo Mite Wayi Roge Nanda Jila Juba Ju Yedang Guru Rana Medala Kaniya We do breathing meditations. Please sit according to 7 meditative posture of Vairocana. Then we visualize Buddhas in the sky in front of us, whose nature is no different from our Guru. Buddha Shakyamuni is surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. From them, light rays radiate together with nectar in the color of white, red, and blue. And when we breathe in, we visualize light together with nectar enter into our body. And when we breathe out, we visualize all our negativity, sicknesses, obscurations in the form of black smoke or liquid come out from our body together with the out breath. So we do 3 sets of 9 round breathing 3 sets of 9 times breathing. So the first set of 3 times meditations, 3 times breathing, we breathe in with our right nostril and breathe out with our left nostril. Do this for 3 times. And the second set, we breathe in with left nostril and breathe out with our right nostril 3 times. And we do the third set. We breathe in and out with both nostrils. We breathe slowly together with the visualization.
어디지라 등어진나 있으지다 통치다 dag 친디 만나시 거리게 보자다 마마지가 찌점에 마시 봐라 장지 무치 봐니 다 진진지 만드는 대wan 되죠 다 랑도 고노 찌봉 등에 봐시 노원에 대가 끼지죠 문두비 다 진진지 만드는 대와 피스 소바다 되는 점마로 냠비 되는 참하고 있었어.
All sentient beings have been our mothers. And all sentient beings' kindness to us is exactly the same as the mothers of this life. Though all sentient beings are exactly like us in terms of wanting happiness and not wanting any sufferings. However, not knowing the object of abandonment and adoptions, we only create the karma that bring forth the result of sufferings. In your mind, cultivate loving kindness, thinking, how nice if all sentient beings have excellent happiness.
등어진나 있으지다 통치 리지 내다 나서 좋아시 내발라 소비 리지 문티비 쇼 타다다 좀 점마로 냠비 민제고인다.
Next, we cultivate compassion, thinking, how nice if all sentient beings, physical or bodies, are free from sufferings that caused by imbalance of elements, caused by pain, caused by sufferings, and caused by sickness.
등어진나 있으지다 간지 생진지 자기 등어다 다 농도 차라라서 타다다 좀 점마로 냠비 뜻인지 모셨어.
Next, we think, how nice if all sentient beings' mind be free from any type of mental afflictions and free from any fear and anxiety.
등어진나 있으지다 나그 지 참말라서 마징인바 차라 타다다 좀 점마로 냠비 된지 이제 모셨어.
How nice if all sentient beings are verbal, be free from any types of sufferings that are caused by harsh words, lies, lying, divisive speech, and etc.
인도디나 고선 좀 문티비 초 타다 좀 점마로 냠비 뜻인지 모셨어.
In short, how nice if all sentient beings treat us be free from any types of undesirables.
더 등어지 나 있은지 대다 통치 코와다니 소비 등어리야 도이 게르 슬로 봉도 상게르 니랑라 보스 니랑라 보제 대디 내가서 양다가 저베 상지지 공부하는 게 니버데메 니버데 슬로여서는 양다가 저베 상지라여 바히니 됐은지 통지지 때 상지지 공부하다가 샤오 님 쳐지고 세고셔서.
Next, we cultivate bodhicitta thinking. Who has the responsibility to free all sentient beings from sufferings? I have the responsibility to free them from sufferings. However, I do not have the ability to free them from sufferings, and only those who has achieved the state of enlightenment, the perfect complete enlightenment, have the ability to free all sentient beings from sufferings. Therefore, for the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha.
그 신선제 transit 때 저도 상지 공부하다 대치다. 다 장주 나지를 비추시네. 냐네 측인데 지금 사태 공부하고 싶었다셨어.
So you set a good motivations. For the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha. For this purpose, I'm going to receive Lamrim teachings and put it into practice.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Also, there is a Saji Somba, Ninja Chin so than the shit to them was Saji Somba de la Nisha, Ninsing it, Ninja Chin Somba on the shit to them was that deal my shares, number Ninja Chin songs at the nursing my shares.
So today I'm going to talk about indications of how to listen in general, giving up the three faults of a vessel and relying on the six perceptions.
That number Ninja Chin son the dear, Ne Kabuba, Kachin the Sija Mazan, Zang the Sinja, Shadow as it. That number Ninja Chin son dear in this much.
So first we identify what the three faults are. So if a vessel is turned upside down, so this is the first fault, the vessel is turned upside down, or held facing upwards but unclean. So this is the second fault of a vessel, or cleaned but with the bottom leaking. So this is the third fault. So first we identified what the three faults of a vessels are.
That needing also born Rauchi in his end, or Kabu today. That Chishon Samba Chirwa, Magical teaching so the need. That need Bol Kabu de Pijitante, Kama Buba. Ko Ka Ya Chin the Savina, Nonola, Dula Soba, Sama jewels, the image. That day, Ka Buba Maiba, Nono, Zoba Maiba, Sama Sotana, ya Yuji. That need that need to say, Kanda new soon to sing his name. Tambo the Sama Java in a Kama Buach. Nibade Sama Yabu Java in a ball, somewhat Nibate, Sama Yava in a who you Nalum Mara Nibade Kaya Lobaina Nanope Tulas of Mazama, the Yobash. Somebody Sama tree chanzo Yabu Yavaina, Yuji. That board swing them has been used.
So these three faults of a vessel, like for example, a bowl. So if a bowl is turned upside down, so this is the first fault. So even though the bowl is clean, however, it is turned upside down. Or if the bowl is held right side up, but inside is unclean, for example, in it there is poison or dirt, so it's unclean. So even though it's held right side up, however, inside is contaminated by poisons or dirt. And the third one is, even though you wash the cup clean and then you also held the bowl right side up, however, there is a hole in the bowl. So it has a leaky bottom. So this is the three faults of a vessel or a bowl.
Tang as a tambo the pain the Roa, near Kabu Bazita, ball tambo in the ball sung is in Imba. That tambo de ball de Katus Jozical, that's also mean Jozing Dindra, Jozi over Degana, ball Giobache, over the Yobache. That means Kalayabu shoes. Ju and beat our shoes, color you can that Pobat come up busha, that Pobat not a lucius, Pobat lucin, that come up with dig on a malucius in that dig on a lucidi, that on the Pobat non Susan when it page down Jin Ru Marwa. That did then that Pobati Koma Chibarwa. Pobati Koma Chibar and make it 2 years Koma Chiba Marda. 2 years color the Petu Yabu and Joji, Yabu and Joji in I. That Susu don't do chidi. Beju on the Tuntuama Karsana, 마부차디 나론도야 말와 출로루사와 디시 담보데.
So the first one is the bowl is turned upside down. So if, like for example, on table, then you put a bowl upside down. So even though you want to pour something into the bowl, so for example, the water or the food, which is delicious and very nutritious as well. So if someone say to you, "Oh, please pour this delicious and nutritious food into this bowl." So, however, because the bowl is turned upside down, therefore, those delicious food and nutritious food cannot be, it doesn't go into the bowl. And so it doesn't serve the purpose. So that bowl doesn't serve the purpose for filling up the water or the delicious food.
코 칼라 테마송 공로와 다코 담보코 비지타야 라야 마가지나 칼라도 실론도 서와 다 거기 앉아서도 다 다리 카마 부잔데 당연히 카야 젠도 로니 카야 로니 다 디나노 루시오스다 고바나 카야 로니 다리 실론도 도야 라야 마로 다코 도야 라야 치데 카야 로니 카야 두 코바야 보샤리 다 디나노 루시오스 다 디나노 루차디 야 디투요 말고 데마 티바지 나노 소포 차디네 뚜요 말고 그러와 다들 루세 다들 루세 야데 동아 라요마스 사야라야 칼라야 보지 고 디에라 가스나 고 나노 소보다 이야로 소보다 둘라 소바요나 뚜나 야 네바 차그라스소 오디시.
Yeah, so like for example, one person and this person bring food, these delicious and nutritious foods to us 3 times. So first time when this person brings the food, then we didn't get to drink the water or didn't get to drink this delicious food because there is nothing go inside the bowl. And second time, when this person brings again the delicious and nutritious food, then and say, please put into the bowl. So please pour the food into the bowl. And however, if the bowl is not properly washed or is inside the bowl is tainted by dirt or tainted by poisons, then even though the bowl is put right side up, however, though you put the food inside already, however, you cannot drink or take the food as well because it is contaminated by the poisons or dirt. And if you were to drink it or take it, then you will fall sick. You will fall sick.
다 담보 니가 칼라드라요 말까 칼라쥐야 뭐드라요 말와 다 카부나라고 뭐데 딘디 뭐도 상도리고 다 카부네 말아서 카 젠디야 로니아고 샤리 디노 잠마마 티바게 리바니바들레디야 딜라라요 말칼라 다 데니가 말아와선다 다 잠마마 티는 지금 뭐도 다 잠마쥐 다 잠마쥐 에 야부시 샤야 이 샤데 야 이구요면 따지지야 말이야 다 이구요면 따지 마지야 칼라 이 더블 딜루디 야 베지 당도지디 예군요시야 실로로사리 야 간다 테마송라 간다 칼라스 주요제 라요 말스.
So first time we didn't get to take the food or eat the food, and second time we also didn't get to eat the food, and third time now you realize that I should not put the bowl upside down and I should wash the bowl as well. So you wash the bowl. However, you didn't check whether there is a hole in the bowl or not. So then you pour the food or the delicious and nutritious food into the bowl. Then because there is a hole and then all the food leak away, then you didn't get take the food. You didn't get the chance to take the food as well.
라마 자치부지 완전 배송지 나와 다 송지 나오디 다 송지 쉬야기 고가 중바데 백개와 삼부 쇼로와 다 개와 삼부지 다 송지 난사가 가서 다 졸라하이나 라와 가와이나 다 디나는 로와시로와 다 송지 쉬야 고가 중서 세나 가타 치네 가나 누구여 로와 아 누구는 다 송지 쉬비깔라 다 라미게 송지 나비깔라 다 이레바 때야 말이 포법 카부바 나시샤데다 당보 송진 나베가 포바다 카부바 나시 다 상로 라미 송진 나와들라 상로 당고 요 말에 안주고 닝요 말에 다 안주고 닝요 말에 주진이 송진 나와래 다 간다 주진이 송진 나와들이 안주는 송진 단다 가리 제고요 말에 제고요 말 간다 로와 세대야 말에 거기 세 상로 당하다 신다 레가지라 상로 당하데 나인도 되래 안주는 신다 드라지니 되래 송진 나들 자원이 내요 말 다 간다 송진 주진이로 고마시 말 고치요 말 다 바지 롱터요 마스나 바지 디브서나 차자고 상로 신다 당서와 다 포바 카부바 나시 포바 카부즈데 칼라 나노 지로요 말와 어다 송지기 시다 된서 지 고요 다 간다 지 먹어보다 배 주진이들 뒤에도 돌아 당서 다 간다.
Yeah, so from this example of 3 faults of a vessel, what he's trying to say is the first type of fault is the fault of turning upside down. It refers to, like for example, a teacher is going to give teachings, like for example at a big monastery, then we get the chance to go to receive the teachings, and we feel very happy. We go very happily to the teaching site, and then consider ourselves very fortunate as well. Then we reach. Then we now sit at the teaching site. So then the teachers start to give teachings, and the teachings last for 2 hours. However, at the teaching site, our ears do not listen. So if any words or any meanings of the teachings, then we do not hear it. We do not listen to the teachings, and our mind is not focused on the teachings as well. Our mind is occupied by something else, anything other than the teachings. So we are distracted. So our ears do not listen. Our minds also do not focus on the teachings. So at the end of the teaching sessions, we understand nothing. So we do not understand anything, the words nor the meaning. So just like a bowl turned upside down. So though we went to the teaching site, however, it doesn't serve the purpose of receiving the teachings. So our 2 hours are wasted.
다 니마들다 다 니마 담보라 간다 고라기 배 라미 주선이게 손지의 제 고야마 치 고야마 되는 고야마 고 나야마도 기본으로 시대죠. 야 gembil이 제모 제모 찌는 데이 바지 gembil이 모베너 겐제모 찌는 데이 다 던디시 데르 간다 손지 시사라와는 레디르고 레디르다 고 시다 된지 테마고 모베 제모 찌는 데이 바지 로와 다코 도보 절라자 지니까 코라마 로우디 취단다 지지 고요 말고 다 저는 베이직 마든지 가용 그래서 손지 자체부터 리시코로 자체부터 리시처럼 지지 된다 지코로 고야 먼저 다코 리바디니 니마니바들 도다 니마니바들 다 니마니바들 다페 리바디 다 다리니 나와 이레 파티니 칠라미기 손지나 소습지니 니네 다 미고 모두 소소 니바레 이레 파티 바레 세다 세테 나와 레파 니바레 다 니바레 다 코 군호도 간지 코스 땅이 다리 라마기 손지 치세나디 야고 지니 미현다 갈페 따라통 거야지 데 나랑이 취드 니네 페 깨단도 하다 니 취드 니네 현달페 지보진의 시 좋아지다 니 취드 니바이나 다니 감각 갈페 함사하든지 단든지 니 취드 니 우두사 지금아 미 구존 판도네 니 기시바이나 코로스페 시징아 라마기만 하고시 다 든디기 제초사래 되는 딱 그노 든디고 다 야보 니야 다 데코 니야 든디 니네 고 니마 니바들 니 야보 고고요래 단다 야보 고요래 로와 니 안초 야보 땡요래 니한테 니야 그 그바 전세다 로바 차사 다고 그노 진진도 살와 다 포바나라 포바나라 칼라루야 다다 조요래 이르데 나로 쪼바 차니 동라 동양의 배제메 다 거기 최대 야보 니한테 최나 최근 난다서 만도 봐시 녀무 조선도서 최근 가서 녀무 조선도서 도서 로요라 나지 최근 녀무 조선도라 마도 최근 타바다 당지 집이 공부 토야게 랑가든 로토야 거기 최니한테 되게 된다라 산노 땅토야 그 녀무 조선도서 근데 최니한테 내가 니열고
Yeah, so that is first day when this person went to listen the teachings. when to listen to teachings, however, ears not listening to the teachings, and the mind is distracted as well. So this person do not do not understand any of the words nor the meaning. So probably that person at the teaching side, then he probably has been using the phone to play games at the teaching side. So because of this, so this person do not understand any of the words nor the meaning. So then this person came back from the teaching side, and his friends asked him, so what do you understand of today's teachings? And then this person said to his friend, I do not understand any of the words nor the meaning. Then this friend advised him that you should not do like that. Your ears should listen to the teachings, and your mind should focus on the teachings as well. Since this teaching is so precious, you should do so. So this person learned a lesson, and on the second day, this person again go to the teaching side to receive the teachings. So on the second day, this person listened carefully to the teachings. So his ear listened carefully to the teachings, and his mind paid attention to the teachings as well, the words and the meaning. So, however, this person listened to the teachings with motivations with a faulty motivations. Like, for example, the motivations is I'm going to listen to these teachings and pay attention to these teachings carefully, so that other people will praise me. So they will praise me, and then I will my carefully listening to the teachings, it will make me a famous person, and then I can show off to other persons, and others will be impressed by my actions of listening to the teachings carefully. So, or the type of with the kind of motivations that next time when I go to another place, then I can discuss or debate with someone else, and then they cannot they're not able to conquer me. So I will be the best in the arguments over the teaching topic. So this is like the second type of example is, even though you listen to the teachings, you pay attention to the teachings as well. Your bowl is put right side up. However, it is tainted by the contaminations, which is the faulty motivation. So the contaminations or the poisons or the dirt in the bowl refers to the faulty motivations. And because of these, then there is a famous statement, Dharma has become assistance to the afflictions. So because of this, with the faulty motivations, then the Dharma has become assistance to the afflictions. So it doesn't become a path that leads you to the state of enlightenment.
She essentially done the Sanji Kumpato and the Nigi Nigis of Kuno di Yomata. Dear Mebache, that quote and Kanda, Nigu Nedala Sobat and Nigi Chedo, that Chenium Barwa. That did, that's also with Juba Chevy, that Nimani Batalangi, Chenium Bare, the Kuno Kandi was in Mrs. Tobuki, that Kuno and Dishkun. But that didn't do that the Yamutos, that didn't that the Mandiba, the Niga Mandiba Hak was that the Niga Dimu, that Nima somebody, choosing share, that Kogat. That the Kokada, Yaboji Java, Ya Susu Chego. Dani Kuno, the Niga, that Nima Tambo Niba Nigalan, two sachets, that then Jimudus. That the Niga Susu Chegota, Tayapo, Ye, Nigu Ka, Buba Maiba, Ka Chego, Zeja Mazama, Zama tree, Rita near the Zama tree, that Hoba Kayano, near Zama tree, Shadiroa. That Nima somebody, that's also in the word, Takanda. That near Kuno Yabu, she seems to get the Sanji Kumpato, big children, it's a near Kuno Yabu Kurta. That queer that near, that Chuma Chusini near, that Drisadi, that see the turn for Jepachi, Samuchi Yomari. That non late San Pro, that Kanda, Tobutsugita, as a Yanni Chia country, and that's the kitchen to it. That was Sela Chase Soyamarco. Kuno Yabu near the 다 생라 돈나 돼야만 간다 생라 전박이 템포진이 춘 소요만 참아 제설 거 요만 간다 다 제설이 다고 군노 야부지 그 변도지 중요해 최야부 퇴바 변도 중요해 다 고바 첨부도 줘야 돼 중요한 고바 첨부 줘 가르도서 고바데 먼저 타바도 단치 공부 토와라 던지 공부 토와라 대응에 비내지라 두바 냥리 제당의 신바다 제고바도 구거와 제당 시바 신비톤에 냥리 두고바다 와다데 냥리 가리 두고미 제당 가리면 늘 신고요 말아죠 다들 팅고만 지구로 팅고만 대한 팅고요 말 와다데 마디마선다 다 고바 첨부도 두투요 말해서 누요 말해서 간다 고바 첨부 누투요 말 다 최대비 비용지 내야래 우노 야고지 쿠여와 우노 야고지 쿠여래 내니기 비용을 내야 돼 고바 첨부 타바다 단지는 공부해야 돼 다 갈래 가보자 돼 어디래
Yep. So first day, these persons do not listen to the words and do not pay attention to the teachings as well. So second day, he learned a lesson that, or he has he has to listen to the teachings carefully, and though he listened to the teachings carefully, and however without a good motivations, and instead with faulty motivations. So a good motivations could be. For the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha. For this purpose, I'm going to listen to the teachings. So if we do not have these persons on the second day do not have the good motivations like this, and he had the motivations wanting to become famous and want to get things or gifts from others. So wishing for fame. And for wealth as well. So this is not a good motivations, and this is a faulty motivations. So second day when this person come back from the teaching side, and his friend asked him again. So did you listen to teachings carefully? Then he said yes. And with what kind of motivations? Then the person said to his friend what kind of motivations that he had. Then again, this friend said to the person that you should not have these faulty motivations. So this person again on the third day, so he goes to the teaching side again. Then he realized that my first day, I did not listen to the teachings, and this is not okay. And second day, though I listened to teachings carefully, however, I do not have a good motivations, and that is not okay as well. So I must listen carefully and then with a good motivations. So for the sake of all sentient beings, I'm going to listen to these teachings. So this person also set a good motivations. So he put the bowl right side up, and he washed the bowl as well inside out, so that the bowl is clean. However, not checking whether this bowl has any leakage, has any hole or not. So he went to listen to the teachings. So he finished the whole teaching sessions with attentions and with a good motivations. So after we finished the teachings, so on the third day, then happily went back to his home, and then his friend asked him again. So what do you understand? So how to practice? And this person could not answer the question because he totally forgot all the words and the meanings that he heard in the teaching side, at the teaching side. So he didn't, though he listened to the teachings and with the good motivations, however, this person do not keep those words and meanings in his mind, and he forget all the words and the meanings without any mindfulness on it. So because of the third fault of a vessel, again, this person do not accomplish the great purpose. So the great purpose here is refers to liberations and the state of enlightenment. Why we say these persons on the third day also do not accomplish the great purpose is because though he listened to the teachings with a good motivations, however, not forgetting, not remembering the way how to practice the meaning of the words, and not remembering those points, and he not able to accomplish the great purpose of liberations and the state of enlightenment.
kala shimbor aya de mara de kha bu ba chin mara bare ni ba de la kala shimbor ya de ya pobar sama ma ti de chin mara bare sumba de sama ti kha ya ge shar de yingu ta chi chin ma je ba ji ti chin tema songa la kala ra ya ma kanda kala shimbor chi de 다 시바들 다 고하고 살다 다고 주 송가 하고 살와 다 제일 칼라 사가 도디 다 보바데 장마 주 로이군 도무도 참아 따지지 데 보바데 카야 노니 간다 조제가 샤니 다다 참바지 제제 다 간다 다 대가 나시 다 나서게 주 시가 니마 시바들라 다 니마 시바들라 다주 송다 하고 살와 다베 나와야 세다 나와 레파야 보 때바지 다 고노 시선제 탄지들 상지 공부도 되시는 niveau 요사 되는 좋아 매바지 손바데 간다 양자데 왔다 최최 전다등이 생활 temba게 손에 다보제네 마냐바이나 간다 최시산에 마 레찬 니사 니칸은 만지네 공지제 상로지 당디 당면조 차지다 단 지금도 되네 그 소도진 니마 시바들 단다서 가르쳐는 좀 생활선냐 생활년 안주 위원회 위원회 당바 많이 봐 엄마이나 내가 위원회 좀 위원회 봐 당사래 차요 뭐 지로 줄을 사 나한테 안주 니가네 마 나로 마 셈버지 마 당자다 담보 니마 시바들 안주 위원회 파당 위원회 고디 위원회 측당자 고 너희 당사 위원회가 파당 측당자 나한테 안주 니가니 마 나로 마 주셔다 네 나로 마 주셔 봐 이놈 마 사들 다마 니마 시바도 주주사다 창조제다 군달서서 니가 이난다 쇼가양 아디네 고지제 아다 제심바지 제심마마도 비타보 타바다 던지 공부해야게 비타보 차데스 나 담보 쥐데 하마고나 데 쥐다 하마고나 데 가르 레바 가리인데 고츠고 말와 로아 내가 야부지 지야라 쥐네 파 심바지 고로와 어디 나들이다 시바 야부 차사를 다 간다
So this person again go to the teaching side on the fourth day. So he realized that the first day is one of the faults of the vessels that putting the bowl upside down. So he didn't listen to the words nor pay attention to the meaning. So second day he realized that the first day is a fault. So he paid attention and he listened to the teachings, however, with faulty motivations, like for example, not for the sake of all sentient beings. And the third day, he realized that, or the second day, way of listening to the teachings is also at fault. So he checked his motivations and set the good motivations, and he paid attention to the teachings. However, not checking properly the bowl, whether there is a hole or not. So he went to the teachings with a leaky bottom on the bowl. So which is not after the teachings, then he totally forgot all the words and the meanings of the teachings. So all the meaning of and the teachings leak away with that hole on the bottom of the bowl. So fourth day, he realized the first 3 days the way of listening is not correct. So the vessel is at fault. So he rectified all that faults, and he pay attention with a good motivations and keep those meanings and the words in his mind. So if we do not keep those words and the meaning in our mind, so it's just like exactly like our way of saying that we listen with one ear and then the words and meaning go off from another ear. So this is also not a correct way to listen to the teachings, because after the teaching sessions, then we just forget everything. So the fourth day, he listened to the teachings, and then he whatever words and meanings he heard, and then instead of letting go in from one ear and then go out from another ear, he listened with both ears and then go into his mind and keep those words and meanings in his mind. So even after the fourth day and next day, when he wake up in the morning, then he able to recall those words and meanings and then put it into practice by meditating on it. And because of that, then that meditations or that practice become excellent. So it's just like our conventional way of doing our works as well. So if we want to perform well in the job, then we have to know what the faults are. What is the potential faults that could lead us away from performing a good job.
테마 니마 시바들 칼라도 심보라이레스 칼라 심보라보다 수고라 펜바 주요레스 보와 칼라 주요리 수고라 펜바 다 내가 나시 니마 시바들 가서 손지 라미기 손지 칸 넘바 된다 참아 보바 마제 된다데 심바지 운어 야보지 타바르 탄지도 공부 도야게 줄라고 도야지 대마제 소소게 마데바이나 냐네 치다시바 로바이나 냐네 치다시바 사와도 똥이 가서 냐네 치다시바 어디서 샤워를.
Yeah, so this on the fourth day, this person was able to get the delicious and nutritious food, and that benefits his body. So because of realizing that, I'll say the first 3 days are at fault, the way of listening are at fault. So he rectify or correct all those faults by listening, ears listen to the teachings, and the mind pay attention to the teachings, and with a good motivations, like for example, for the sake of all sentient beings, I'm going to listen to these teachings. And third is he remember all those words and meaning in his mind, so he able to record it and then put it into practice. So on the 4th days onwards, then he knows how to practice when he sits, and he knows how to practice when he walks, and he knows how to practice when he eats and drinks.
당이 된다도 지슈사이로와 가지 ninji 죄소 팅진의 히 주세고로 가지기 ninji 죄소 팅지긴의 히 주세고로들 다단단 가지 ninji 죄소 등이 된다도 마 도도시사이다 데페샤 카투마 정한테 야될 때 된다도 마 로지 다들마 카투 코데고레도와 다간다 니 카부한테 카부와이나 하이차바제 나도 먼저와 수야마 장이 법이 통하라서 기바 먼저와 된니가 매바이나 마장이 말레장 네 카부바더와 마장이 말레장 때 나도 문에 봐 4년 동안 네 카도 대화는도와 다 되게 고쳐셔래 다 최초비 잘라대는 나와래 밤마 대바 카부바 스페샤 때도 진짜 로바스와 님바다 마장 스페샤 다 꾸노 제 잡아라서 제 대답면에 네비디스 시다 대템바 세나 마제바 제발라서 냥바지나 때 최초비 그바도 마세 다데 대화로 고데보렌도와 된다는 시사로와.
Yeah, so you can refer to the text. So here you can read it, and you will have then you will understand it easily. So the meaning and the example I already explained to you. So then even if rain is made to fall on it by the gods, the rain cannot go in. Refer to the first fault, or even if it goes in, it will be polluted by the dirt. So it refers to the second fault, and therefore will not fulfill the purpose of being drunk and the like. Or even if it is not spoiled by dirt, it will not stay but leak out. So it refers to the third types of faults. So in the same way, there is no great need to hear the Dharma if you sit in a place where the Dharma is being explained but do not listen well, or listen but take it wrong with faulty motivations and the like. Or if even in case these faults are not present, the words and the meaning you grasp at the time of hearing are not consolidated and get lost through forgetfulness and so forth. So by reading it, then you understand it easily. So here we go back to the topics. Go back to this division indications of how to listen in general. So the first one is giving up the 3 faults of the vessels. So here it indicates the unconducive conditions for listening. And second one, relying on the 6 perfections, it indicates the conducive conditions for listening.
다들 된다 시절 다들 디스오게 ninji 죄송 되게 nem보데 미게 돌이 치소요와 다들 빼게 정보래 치 퉁두들 간다 싶어서도 안 님본돌에 레파라도 내가 이라 숨시도 치소요다 레파치 라도 내나지 이라 숨시지 대송 다 대송을 빼 야부 쉬우죠데 내가 치사를 이러와 대송을 빼 너무 치대스는 예수 그리스도 거치라도와 된다 길시.
So therefore, one should be free from these faults, and the antidotes to these 3 are set forth in 3 phases in the sutras. So this is a very important point, and I also explained it already. So I would like to explain again because of its importance. So these are the three antidotes. So the first one is listen well, and the second one is listen intently, and the third one is keep in mind.
다 담보 치 레바 세비도와 레바 세와되게 다 담보 가서 네를 빼샤거든 네 두지 세바 네 장마마 소바 지와 보바 장마마 보바 니바 들어와 보바 장마마 소아 데 장마 소구레스 디스케시고 보바 장마 소구바데 시오디 네 두지를 봐 세고 보바 장마 세바 그러나 레바 세와 보바데 빼지고는 시오디 또 보바 장마 써야 돼 레바 세와 담보 빼고는 보바 장마 써야지.
So the first one is listen well. So listen well, if we were to apply it to this vessel or this bowl that we explain as an example. So listen well, meaning wash well or clean well. So it refers to the second type of vessels or second type of bowl which is contaminated by dirt or by poisons.
다 니지 담보를 다지가 저 시비 담보니 버스 담보들 니 카부 버스 들어와 다 라도 니에서 되게 포바야 카야로리 야부샤가 칼라 심보사라 포바야 야부샤고 레스 길 카야 긴 샤고 레스 카부 버스고 간다 라도 니에서 니 카부 버스고
So listen intently. So listen intently is the example is like you put the bowl right side up. So it is an antidote to the vessel which is turned upside down.
다 이라 수시 세워데 인데다가라 맞어 니 숨바디와 니 혀도디와 니 혀도 디세워 다 포바페나 이구연저 많이 포바 야보 짱마 카야보 맞 짱마서 짱마 찍어 맞 이구 매가지고 그래서 딱 하나씩 근데 디 짱마서야다 카야보 짱마서 이구 매가지 야보 연저지 포바지 다 된다 드시고 빼라.
And third one is keep in mind. So this keep in mind is the antidote to the third type of vessels, the third fault of vessels. So the third fault of a vessel is leaky bottom or is a leaky bottoms. So you keep in mind. So it's the antidote towards the third fault of vessels. So to make sure one's listening to the teachings is free from these three types of faults.
다디 된다를 전한지 세로와 레바세와 된다데 가르스나 당아주 니지 죄송 된다라 빼라 니지 죄송 파 세와다 된라 레바사 된라 가디 잡았으나 다 된디 취네 발라 꾸노 장주기 생기 시비 신신지기 체도 뭐 된디기 체도니 취니기 이상 된디 꾸노 레바지 썼다고 그래서 꾸노 레바스나 야보 임비케샤리 야보 로와 꾸노 취냐 발라 꾸노 장주기 생기 시비 꾸노 레바지 썼다쇼 아스타인 가서 따버지 가서 꾸노 찍고요 가서 따버지 취 진짜 소가 꾸노 찍고요 돈아니나 샤와니서 되게 전부시고 차고 토마 꾸노 지야 타마 계장에 들어와.
So what does these three types of vessels and three antidotes indicates is the first one, listen well. So well here refers to a good motivations. So listen with a good motivations to cultivate, to counteract the faulty motivations, the second type of fault. So this is what we usually do at the beginning of the sessions. So I always mention that to do two things, one at the beginning and one at the end. So the one at the beginning to do is set a good motivations, and at the end, then we dedicate the merits. So for the sake of all sentient beings, I'm going to listen to teaching. So this is exactly what we always do at the beginning of the teachings. So that is what listen well refers to, set a good motivation.
제가 다 레바서의 꾸노 현신지 탄지지 상지지 공부도 대지의 장주의 신비신비 꾸노지 사다자데 다 최년바 kuno neku nedata chaso nemuji on so the passe sanduwa de kasarwa o de kawere manzo shin sinji ge che de sanji ji kumba to ya de ge che do che ne ya ge kuno changju sinji simba kuno ji se tawde da he be neku nedata chaso la so ba de wando che de kuno de pa kasarwa de na de kasarwa o de shin ge chirwa.
So when we listen with a good motivations for the sake of all sentient beings, I want to become Buddha, and for this purpose, I'm going to listen to the teachings. Then, when we are motivated, when we have these bodhicitta motivations, when we set these bodhicitta motivations, it already eliminates the faulty motivations. Like, for example, wish for the motivations, wishing for fame, wishing for wealth, and wishing or the motivations under the power of attachment.
다 니바데 치 니바데 라도 녀라 시킨도와 다 라도 녀라 세오데 다 꾸노데 신신치게 쳐도 산지 공부도 대 쳐도 꾸노데 여바 마세 다 간다 세 나예다 나도라서 봐 왕도 마스와 최셔서 되다 배 심바띠니 되고 심바띠 봐 마세 안쪽에 냐와 최마소야데 레바 니네 냐와 레바띠니 라도 녀세 와 야보지 녀 세다 be nawa nika leba tene naye da nando da kako da dilpa de ka sorwa se nando da naye wa da so da pakawa ancho he da la so ba naye wa da so da pakka shia ga tanda dila se da nawa nika leba tene de nyungu re se de.
So the second one is listened intently. So listen intently. When we set a good motivations for the sake of all sentient beings, I'm going to listen to the teachings. So not only we have these good motivations, and we also have to make sure our listening to the teachings is free from distractions, is free from conceptual thoughts, distractions by the conceptual thoughts. So in order to remove distractions, then our ears listen to the teachings and our mind pay attention to the teachings. So by these ears listening to the teachings and mind pay attention to the teachings, then it will be able to remove the faults of distractions.
다 somebody ila sonshi sen doa 다 kuno she sinje te do sanji kombato de chi ya bu chu sare 다 sen ene nawa leba tene nyende ya bu nyende 다 nye chedi 다 che tebi chi da de so da pa majeba 수수게 세나스 템바시네 세나 템보 지네 데 템비기로와 템바기 왔다 등원에 전에 된다 디렌도 사 수수게 세나바 양자 세나마스네 나니 짜종제바 나니 짜종제네 디레전 디된다 라미기 디디소스 디된다 디렌사 나니 짜종제바 마지 세나베 냐차제바 템보치네 세나스 냐와 그러와 세나 템보치 냐와 데 템바디기 베 템보 소아 만수 템바 마제바 체스나 나지 디기 케체 레 담바이나 저랑이 레지 땅기 디 조보라 키chen 디 라로시 템바 마제 아스처럼 인지 민지 라세 만수 나지 용라 디시고라 인지 베라 로와 오 다디 나지 라미기 마체 수냐지 도서다 오 다디 제치아무데 템보치네 세나 냐고도 로와 냐고도 신 신지기 체도 나이 니와선자 데 신나 펜바 두야라 신나 티신 바지 우리스 로와 펜바두ala 오다데 일라 소시 스탠다드르다 시도도 손으로 빼단다 전부 야부 쉬요래.
And the third one is keep in mind. So keep in mind, so if we have a good motivations, then our ears and our mind pay attention to the teachings, and we do not forget the words and the meanings we heard at the teaching side. So we keep those words and meanings in our mind properly, firmly, steadfastly. So that means we are we able to recall the words and the teachings, and even verbally we able to repeat, recite the teachings and recite the words and the meanings by heart. So these words or these statements, the meaning of this is, then we're able to recite it by heart. So we keep those words and meanings in our mind properly. So it's just like when a teacher or when someone asks someone else, please inform A asks B to inform C. So A say to B that, oh, you must tell C about this. Don't forget. So don't forget and keep it in your mind. Then is exactly what the third phrase, or keep in mind, refers to. That means you remember, you don't forget the words and the meanings. So because your motivations is to benefit all sentient beings, to benefit others, right? So if not just having these good motivations, and you keep those words and meanings in your heart, so that you're able to reveal the teachings, or you're able to teach others in order to benefit them. So these 3 phrases in the sutras: listen well, listen intently, and keep in mind. So those is very short, only 3 phrases, few words only. However, in these few words, it contains a great meaning in it.
간주 땡지 창상지 내고나 다 된다 도도도 되는 시기야다. 수소년당 들어와. 간주 땡지 창상지. 어디 레버라도 니라 일을 쓰기서 그노를 다 치든지 소마도 요마. 다 인진으로 가지 들어와. 어디 베개 첨보래. 다 대손 상와이나 당아서 된다 군용야부 쿠사레 나와다세 레파 땡데요레 된다서 일을 손요레 어다 고바 첨보 다 타바다 탄지진비 공부 두야기 goba chembodo duya gi niba ta changzang sambaji chagoyore sambaji.
So these 3 phrases, listen well, intently, and keep in mind. So in English, it's slightly, as it has few, probably is longer, so I'm not so sure. However, in Tibetans, so it's only a few words only. So however, it's good to memorize these 3 phrases in your mind. So listen well, intently, and keep in mind. So because just these 3 phrases itself already shows the correct way to listen to the teachings. And if you understand these, then you understand how to listen, the proper way to listen to the teachings. So even if you listen to Gangyu teachings, or even if you listen to the Tengyu teachings, then you know the proper way to listen to those teachings. So with the good motivations, with your ears and mind, pay attention to the teachings and keep those words and meaning in your mind, then you will be able to accomplish the great purpose of liberations and the state of enlightenment.
이때보다 새 탄지지 산에 년바세 다 맞아 년나도 기지 시고를 상상으로 상상을 봐봐 도매시 송도와 다 너무 대강도 거기 되시는로
the
너무 장가 들어와 장가의 긴시반 대바 지지바 나라바 이때바 새 탄지지 산에 년바세 너는 장가가 뒤에만 다 장가가 안 도와 너무 장가도 받는 지지 또 된다는 게 시고로.
And then on the text, and in bodhisattva levels, by Asanga. So we are told to listen with the desire to know everything. So this is the first point. Listen with the desire to know everything. Second point, single-pointedness. Third point, attention. Fourth point, a humble mentality. And the fifth point, reflect with full attention.
다 담보 긴시반 되바서 되게 님보도 가래. 님보도 가르기 님보에서나 대는 이 소소가 취 라미 취 숨벽가라 다 된다라 에 하마고 봐 나인도도 와 뒤서 담아래 대 시바지고 대근 참아 시바지고 그래서 근시반 되바서와 근시반 되바다 대나 이 님보세 대나 이와 되게 님보라 도고요 대나 이 차디 땡아서 된다도 신고요 말와 tenda de shigo yo marwa de tenda de mashi wa sonza de tenda la pa hinda la yin chadi de tenda de shigo yo mar da tendi degi nembo de karsna da kun shiba su tu nyane sha tenda de shenba ji chama shenba ji che gore ese wa kun shiba de waswa oda de kun shiba de ba asna tenda yin nembo se yin nembo de lo.
So the first point, So the first point, listen with the desire to know everything. So this, this desire to know everything is the antidote to the distractions from words. Distractions from meaning. So it's the antidote to distractions from meaning. So if we are distracted from meaning, then we will not be we are unable to understand the meaning, right? Because we are distracted from the meaning. So in order to counteract this distraction from meaning, the antidotes that we have to apply is with the desire to know everything.
那第一就是最基本是进度啊，最基本的按照最基本的人，这搞这个人不是熊这个人不是熊吧？当按照被去起来了被包把娘把的，谁嘛熊把的包把差吧，对吧？那的按照被呢联络呢记录被联络是有的，被接多少码的你接多少码的是等于按照联络送到了记录被联络是电脑性的，是吧？哦，谁熊这个人不的谁熊吧？ 다最基本是呢，等于等的了呗，包把娘吧，这个嘛，现在等的了把上路最基的当呢，也不是念的，念完呢，截图的也是我看的，我截图的现在等的了把上路也不是当呢，的了念吧，就觉得等的先完呢，的包把娘吧，用过嘛的，包把妈娘吧，假如截图的也是我，是吧？现熊过嘛也是我，但熊不给念不的，看的最基本是我的。
And this single-pointedness is the antidote to discouragement. So single-pointedness is the antidote to discouragement. So discouragement here, what it means is we feel discouraged. We do not have the confidence in doing something. And this is very similar to the laziness of low self-esteem. So there are few types of laziness, and this is one of it. The laziness of low self-esteem. So what does it mean is, we think that I'm not able to do that. I'm not able to do this. I'm not able to do that. So if we do not have the confidence in ourselves that we're able to do something, and this is very similar to the laziness of low self-esteem that I mentioned just now. So discouragement is discouraged mind. So not having the confidence in oneself, able to accomplishing something. So in order to counteract this discouragement, then we must have this single-pointedness. So single-pointedness is we single-pointedly, our mind single-pointedly focus on the object, focus on the goal, or focus on the object or the points that we want to accomplish, and then develop so that we will be able to develop the confidence in doing the things. So single-pointedly focus on the object. So single-pointedly focus on the object, of single-pointedly focus on the meaning or the accomplishment. Then we perform. Then we develop the confidence in ourselves that we're able to accomplish that.
That's somebody. Na laba se jindo somebody na laba se wa de chila yi nyambo da chila yi nyambo da la mi ma chu song de da ji ne kabu ba da jibare ne kabu ba de se de de da jiba cha wo de nyambo do sa de wa na laba se wa ne kabu ba ge nyambo do wo kan da da jiba wa na laba de chila yi nyambo da nawa da ida nawa leba tene 年学是以先把的电呢，但按照来把年学的了，年学那我那把是也不仅年学的了，起来一年不，但也不仅年为的呢，这起的不了啊，这起的马个把烟了个嘛了吧，烟菜的这起的不要嘛了吧，我的了，那起是呢，那么个送的嘛，送上去送上起的嘛，我要的。
Third one is attention. So attentions here, I say, is the antidote towards the first type of first fault of the vessel, which is the vessel is turned upside down. So attentions is the antidote towards the first type of fault. So these attentions is to counteract distractions from words. Is to counteract distractions from words. So what does this word refers to? It referred to the teachings, the words of the teachings spoken by the teacher or by the lamas. So here, attentions meaning our ears listen to the teachings. Our ears listen well to the teachings, and our mind pay attention to the teachings. So by our ears listening well to the teachings, then our mind focus on it.
다 님바 시바데 이티바 신도와 이티바서데 템발이 님보시레 템발이 님보 담보티기로 된듯이죠.
So the fourth one is the distraction from mindfulness. So a humble mentality. So a humble mentality, in other words, is to direct our mind. So this humble mentality, in other words, is to direct our mind. And this directing our mind is the antidote to the distractions from mindfulness. Is the antidote to distraction from mindfulness.
다 이티바서데 나서베 다 라미기 추송에 치다 더 가리이나 템비기 마순바이나 다 템바이에 살와 템비기 츠텐다 상로 마도 마순바이나 다 템바이에 살 다디 예자리 다 이티바서데 라미 송바르소데 세나체 소소게 생기 송바 생기 송네 다 간다 템바기 들라파 자추치야 들어와 템바기 들라파 템보치니 세anja 수야 들어와 템바디기 파 말려야 돼 간다로와 파 말려봐 다 이티기 델라 탐보 세네 춘 나우데 수 이티바스나 세나 춘 주바 단다데 세나 춘 주바 단다 치니가 세나 춘 주디 데 템바기 때 템보시니 송바 로와 세나 송데 템비기 들파 냐마지바 양자 츠 송게시 판도 마지바 양자 츠 송게 템바스가 동서 쇼라 판도 마진게 양자 춘 주네다 템바스 로와 다 퇴바데 파 템바 파 제마지바 파 나이 소나 제르와 파 나이 도 마지게 츠 송게데 츠 송게데 로와 오 덴디 디네 보 템발이 예이네 보시 이티바스.
So this humble mentality is to direct our mind. So direct our mind also means to keep in our mind, to keep the words and the meanings of the teachings in our mind. So it's to counteract distractions from mindfulness. So distraction from mindfulness, in other words, is we are not being mindful. So we are not being mindful, or we do not keep those words and meanings in our mind. So by direct our mind, or by keep in our minds, then this mindfulness will be able to hold those words. So this mindfulness. So we have, while having mindfulness on the words and the meanings, then we're able to keep those words inside and do not let it go outwardly. So instead of being distracted by not having the mindfulness. So this distraction is like something, drawing something outside, and this mindfulness is drawing something inside. So what we draw inside is the meaning and the words of the teachings, and we draw inside itself, letting it being drawn out by the distractions.
se tanji san nyemba sindoa da se tanji san nyemba se da de gari nyembo resnarwa ila shepali yin nyembo se dere ila shepali yin nyembo se isha chewala pa yin ba pa derwa ila shepali yin nyembo ila shepali yin tsana de sanla tsu ku marwa sanla tsu ku marwa danda de chöda sikali de soyona de sanla manko badre.
So the last one is to reflect with full mind. So to reflect with full attentions, or reflect with full attentions to counteract the distractions from taking to mind. So to counteract distractions from taking to mind, the antidote is to reflect with full attentions. So if we are being distracted from taking the words and meanings to mind, then in order to then we are not able to recall the words and the meaning. So in order to counteract these distractions, then we have to cultivate the antidotes of reflecting with full mind.
다 세 탄지지 산이 년바세 일하시비 년보데 세 탄지지 일하 산이 년바세 다去年 나도라 이시 거와 去年 나도라 간다 나서 라미 송치 남베가라 왕부 미기 왕비 셰바게 실로 베 순제보라서 반다만데 들리라 이와 많이 봐베 츠디바로 들리 예스나 베 세데 제르로와 데 안쪽 배 현다가 다 만달아서 대바지는 대예랑도 많이 봐. 그래서去年 대지보만 봐. 다 간다 왕보 참하게 대가래. 다 리지 왕보 나양보 다 대가라야 去年 베가라 칼라 좋아 연주 쉬부지 사와이나 다 칼라 좋아들 세들라 먼저 지 좋아들 누리야 칼라 좋아 이제 쉬바 들라야 세다 야 참아 딩고 내가 여러와 dile pango kontra ni gaire da toade dile o toade kandi ni sei ni sansandaji kandi jaji sena ka sotan kandi ne de salonda de yi chushi ya de ya da le tu marwa se ting marwa da ombo chamage 나도 수디 바데 파시롤 수수수수게 지난 ombo 수수수라 펠레가 저러와 미기 ombo 셰바되게 베수 제문제라서 바 통하다 다 냐이 나시 되게 베 달라서 바 되게 수수 티모 마이 발레가 여러와 다 디가서 내가 참아다 맞아 나로 측디네 미기 라미기 소나 집어 디가 집 봐봐 집어 참아 내가 디나로 그래 마도 신다 내가 간도야 마 와 오다 세 탄지산이 년바스 오다 라미기 추스야게 지된도 저 참아 세 탄지지산에서 삼바 체가 라미기 추스야 디라 상호탄이 니야 체가 견다 내가 신다지 차시샤 야 내가 신다지 로그서 던지기 차시 그 상호 신다지 당이나 데 비다보 샤고 말해서 그러와 데 일라 셰바세 디기 님본 루트 말해서 다 일라 셰바스나 소야게 데 강가치 일라 샤와 일라 샤와와 일라 샤와 던지지 상호다 일라 샤와서 완전 배 나라 대바이나 주로 수수 레갈에서 오비시나 데페 생라 일랑 샤야진도와 어 대가 나시 소야가 당가 된다 강가치 수도 일라 샤와지 왕보 강가 수수수도 내가 판도 마치 거지 수당으로 내 내가 도와 상호동사 된다 지간도 와세 탄지지 상의 년바스로도 대 탄지에서 와데 먼저 만지로와 만지의 왕보 정말 나눠 줍돼야 돼. 봐. 수로로 봐. 수수 내가 판도 마치 거지. 그러와 내가 벌써 지가 상당해야 돼.
So this last point, reflect with full attentions. So because it also indicates a way to listen to the teachings. So when the lamas give teachings, so the meaning and the words, we have to, as our mind, focus on the words and the teachings, which is the teachings, words and the meaning of the teachings. So we have to restrain our senses. We have to restrain our senses and then focus on the teachings only instead of being distracted by the object of senses. Like for example, when you suddenly see something nice, then your mind is already distracted towards the beautiful object, and your mind is not focused on the teachings already. At least is not with the full attentions. Or you suddenly heard something very melodious or etc. Then even when you're listening to, when you listen to the teachings, though you heard something very melodious, however, you should not distracted away from the teachings because of this object of hearing, the melodious object of hearings. So we should not let ourselves distracted outwardly to the object of senses, and we should restrain or draw our attentions inwardly on the words and the meanings of the teachings. So if we do not restrain our senses, then we will be very easily get distracted. So, like for example, someone carried a very delicious food, has a good smell food pass by, then your mind, instead of focus on the teachings with full attentions, then some part of our mind are distracted by the delicious good smell food. Similar to people who carry a cup of a nice tea and it smells so nice, then your mind is being carried away by the fragrance of the tea. Then you are not listening to the teachings with full attentions. So here, full attentions also it indicates that we have to listen with a concentrated mind. So instead of half like that, so half your mind is listening to the teachings, then half your mind is being distracted by something else. Then if we listen to the teachings with half of our mind, then our listening to the teachings will not become excellent.
다 들리선자디 다 가서 추 년단의 배 쉬고 여부 송도와 다 단단도 같이 송다데 상사게 법에 도매게 봐 도매게 그래서 순조성화 가서 배 년에 제할 배 편도 쉬고 연료래도와 먼저 카드 응고 직대고 된다 간디 상당고매 다 가서 단다 멘티네 간다 가서 지나 베이스 프로그램 고스야 단다 신의 수리데 이나 몽반에 다 가서 롱아 두나로 지 참아진 누구래 대가서 로종 제년이 제가라 창상지熊몸부지 창사지나 따투게 계신 곳이라 자고요. 강의스나 만소배 다熊몸부지 시다 로종 마제바지 제만이 와이나 대 참사라 수수게 된다고 지로 대지로디 어디는 괜찮 된지 로전도상 네 간이나 우마 신다 대지로이래 되는 진짜고 모두 상상을 오지. 대행여와 로전 로도 상상 된지 몸부 연구래. 다 든디 마모 연구를 든디 마모 연구하다 다 가르치는 애가 한 먹었으나 완수 숑 디스 마모 로 마투바지 디숑 디소라 된다마다 통어디 더 전타 소수기 룰에 시구여면 하고요 말에 제부 친디 총속에 내당도네 시구여면 하고 말에 데 완수 제부 총우단 린다 체복에 드자 가르기 제스는 시당 하 먹어바지 대 전타 수글로라 이미 대고 마치바지 대 캔사 인겨와 차디 캔사 쉬부신도 상상다 든디 연구요래 대 든디 연구 손사 다땡한소 나지 공사적으로 로종 쉬운나고래에서 소야 준신지 배 조지 자고요래 대로와 나서 로종 제당 시에바다 다 수수기熊全部지 때 로종 야부 제바나熊全部지는 지다우디熊가바이나 지다 첨보이나 총주나 지다우디 되게 단다데 전타를 샤바이는 디카도 전타 되게 루르샤사 네 제부 중이가르신 된 드링가를 양내치야 원데 제부 쳔비가스 양내치야래서가 된 개와 누구 말이야 나 상지게 손들만 개와요 말이야 맞어 드자가 림바 티당 왕의 시비 또 전타다 제부 중도셔서 든지게 왕의 신의 성장이 망보 여러와 어디 든디선자 다 시다 로조 마제바이나 된 개와 통대 내가 쉬위 거래 데 계신 것이다래.
Yeah, so these the sutra words, listen well intently and keep in mind, and also the 5 points here mentioned in Asanga Bodhisattva levels. So those are the points that we have to adopt, for our way, to correct our way of so to correct our way of teachings, so that we will be able to derive the benefits from listening. And these points mentioned in the text is very easy to understand as well. So from here, so because we are just at the beginning of our basic programs, and then we will continue to study for another 5 or 6 years together. So we must know these points about how to listen to teachings properly. So if we do not study much of those great texts, so if we do not have extensive studies, then we just simply grab one book and then we start to read. Then when we read, then sometimes we might encounter a point that sounds very weird or funny. Then it seems like it is not the same as the teachings that I heard before, and it even sounds contradictory with the points that I've heard before. So the words on the book and the points that I have heard before. So those might sound contradictory, and this is because of not having studied those great texts extensively. So then these kinds of situations might come. So because when we encounter when we read, then we encounter points that sounds weird, it doesn't sound similar to the points that I've heard before, then it is because of not studying the text extensively, right? Like for example, when these points that sounds funny to you, however, it is because of not knowing to which schools of thoughts it refers to. So each schools of thoughts, like for example, those four schools of thoughts that we mentioned before, the tenets. So if we do not understand those four schools of thoughts, then when we encounter a point, then it might sound as a weird to us because of not knowing to which particular school of thoughts that it is explained. So it will sound dissimilar to what we heard before. So, and when we encounter a point, and if we do not know that this point or these explanations is mainly explained for the small scopes of beings. So this is the practice mainly for the small scopes of being or medium scopes of beings or the great scopes of beings. Then we just read a text, then it might sound weird to us because of our lack of knowledge. So even to the extent that it might sound total contradictory. So that is why His Holiness Dharmas always emphasize the importance of reading, because by reading or studying, so by studying, then you will know how to practice. So if you want to practice, you must know how. In order to know how to practice, then you must study. So Buddha's teachings is not contradictory. It is the teachings is the path for individual persons to achieve the state of enlightenment. So they are not contradictory as we see.
That this is the Ganda Samalo, Masu Besiburo Kono Langoya Zishu, Chenke in Anda, Majingi, Masun Zindana Yore, Chansa Yorwa, this one's that Sama Ganda Roa, Masuti, Takanda de Gotsuyade, Mazuchina, Tarinton Gotsurete, low to Dingela, Chansa Chitsan, where it's at its Samagi, Sinshu, Kanda, Macha, Muntinia, Susu Sinshu Panera, de Kanda Mansugi. Lojun Chibi, Geza love Chimbuchi, Lo Momochilanga Supe, Geza love Chimbuchi Sawire, De Suzuki Sama Chan Wure, Lojun Chiba, the Suzuki Yam to Luyore, Geza Yam to Luyore, Madongazo, Geza Saya Lohachi, Yanicha Lohachi in the K, Chawio Marwa. That Sama Kanda, Masu, Zindarilla, Tinchuchi, Nize Kanda, Dilangazo, Geza la Chimbuchi San Wire, his son Wire. The kitchen was there, did someone conduct so meeting Tona Yabonaris, that thing in Begush Wira, so Begushia and Ranjit Samalakanda, Roa, a Geza Lachibo, so this is Sobaji, Ruchi Dolinji, that Chesadi, Sama Pinsi, a Geza Sewa Mazupe, children, what someone knew the Chatadi, did Samagi, Geza Moyata, Samape, Sama in the way you are since Sama GP Judola, Niba Chimo Chawres, Niba Chimo Chawere, the Consajo Goma Sonswa, Mansope, a Geza Moyatela, Mansope, Dewa Changa, Mansana, Dewa Change, Juno in Dewa Change, or Tendiji, Sopa in Yamdo, Dewa Changi, Tendijila, Yamdo Geza Modi, the Ganda Geza Moyada, missing Niba 2 days.
Geza and Soba.
Oh, Soba, Mansutin Dewa, Yam the Chanting, I do that Chundi in Dewa, Sama Chadiroa. That under the Soba Jin on the Dewa Chazadi, Kunzaju Mumade, Miss Sebuchila, Gadina Sunchika Chisons, Derwa, Gadi, Gadi Sunchika Chisons. They did not need the Sungur or Sungur, they did not want to show on a little or what they.
Because the Soba, the Chu, Dewa, the Yam to chatting,
and the one of the child. That Namak in Dewa Chanage, Soba Mazu Chishu in Dewa Chande, yeah, Longito in Dewa Chanage. Nam the Dewangi. What that indeed, someone also gets up, Jingo did some other she which people is Kurwa.
So among us and those there are those who registered for the basic programs, and some of us who do not registered for the basic programs. However, by coming together to study, and especially by studying these texts or topics in the basic programs, and now we are at the beginning point, and we are going to do this for the next 5 or 6 or 7 years, so until we finish the whole basic programs. So we should not feel discouraged. And we should continue to motivate ourselves for to continue the studies and continue to studies and put it into practice. So though I mentioned about like 4, 5, 6, or 7 years, so it seems many years. And however, we should also realize that for these many years, though it seems many years, and for these years, then we are going to accumulate roots of virtue together, and then we are going to practice together. So this studying itself is a type of is a practice. So it's not like studying the teachings is separate from the practice. So we are studying, and then we accumulate roots of virtue together, and then we are practice together. So it goes together instead of in a separate manner. So I would like to say to all of you, encourage all of you that please continue your great effort. And so we as organizations, and we are coming together to study together. So this we should motivate each other. We should benefit each other by coming together and to studies and to practice together, and then to dedicate the roots of virtue at the end. So His Holiness Dalai Lama also mentions that these dedicating roots of virtue, and especially those with those we have connections. Like for example, in the Dharma centers, then we have friends and members with whom we have Dharma connections, and then with whom we have a family connections, like for example, or family members, and then with whom we have other types of connection, like for example, in terms of financials and etc. So with those whom we have, with those we have connections with, be it Dharma connections, be it family connections, be it financial connections. When we do dedications and we dedicate to them, then the benefits is greater. So the benefits that we will receive is greater.
다 나지 오치 니야 대가서 파시 두데 냐네 시지돌다 드링이데 양자 지시하라마스 때 제리 양자 지시해니 다 파시 두가서 추니에 바나 파시 두가 냐네 심부터 티케체 모시다리도.
Yeah. So previously I also mentioned about this listening to the conjoined listening to the teachings with the practice of 6 perfections, and because of its importance, I would like to explain it again. However, today I do not have the chance to explain it, so I will explain next time.
But then they shall get the shit to the Mandua is engine the shit to the
I will stop here for question and answer, and next class I'm going to discuss relying on the 6 perfections. So this is the topic that I'm going to discuss next week. So if you have any questions or doubt, then please you can ask now.
Sheila, this is Lin Sang here. I would like to ask one question.
Yes, please.
But before that, maybe I need to seek the forgiveness from Geshe-la. What I mean is that sometime during this teaching, because it is going to be translated by Ken, so sometimes when Geshe-la is talking, I may not pay full attention to Geshe-la talking, because I'm waiting for the Ken's for the translation to understand the meaning. So I just want to know is that this type of thinking is okay or not okay? Thank you.
Yeah, niti kasa. Di tambo niti konda shu is. Konda shu yim zente. Sungchu shudu niti kishala pui di sungyu yoro pui to niti sungyu yore niti di kasa inji gi kasa inji gi jashi inji gyune inji gi gyune niti di go di kasa gu di gyu sa. Ni kishala gi pui gi to ne sungchu din nangdu你都能这面啥，好，看是呢，的印记看是下个月有嘛咯，你的印记叫我的古的years，点的什么当当的大约呢？
啊，的给其实的我这印记就谈到的来是吧？的这个是吧？啊，的这个是弄出去你要嘛的是，给其实的我这印记谈到的，嘛其这个也不是从当时的，给其实的来是，我让你是话的来是。ngarangi ki kona magona ni rewa de chance tanda koya dire rewa ta tanda koya de inji tol machine de ko marwa ni rewa dire ngarangi rewa ta ta luerste de chance inji ki tanda de ya ku sozo ni de tanda de ni ba cho ni to waina de ni rewa de ta ro resko.
Yeah, so I say there is no fault here, and this is exactly my wish that I say. You pay attention to the meanings, to the words and the meanings in English. You listen to it, and then you think about it, and you understand the point. So if you do so, then this is exactly what I wish for.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Yeah.
Geshe-la, I have a question.
Yeah.
This is Candy. Regarding the 3 faulty vessel, has it got to do with one's karma, whether this person has a good imprint, whether they can retain, and whether they can absorb or have faith? Can Geshe-la please comment on that? Thanks, Ken.
Thank you. Geshe-la, ni tindu yun sum di kola yang susu gi le dang dewa yunas, susu gi le dang ani susu gi pasha. Tang dewa yunas, bena jashana ini di susu le dang baca jabo ina di sim di nyingiri di chula dewa yuba tang ini di temba yuba je.
De tendi yor dewa yungres ko, de dewa yungres. Ne ji chue so den dewa yungre nga so pe chue shida nye ma do changsa na ye do de nga so chue so da nga so ba je wa do le gres, ne ji chue so de chue nya la ba je. Da so so ba je de pa do la so so la ni ba de yor wa. Ni ba de yor pe chue ne be ka la so so pe na ye she la so ban da ma de tri la pe pa cha chen bo sha wa ina. De chue ne be ka la she la so ba chen da ji sang le de ji pe pa cha chen bo ina de de wang de wo res ko le wang de yor de tin de yor ro yor de ina de pa che wang de ma do ba so so la tin chi de ya so so la ni ba de yor res ko de yor res de wa yor res.
Yeah, definitely is related. And when we talk about these 3 faults of vessels, so those are the obstacles for listening to the teachings. And like for example, is related to the imprints or related to our karmas as well. So like for example, I say we leave a strong imprints about a song. So we leave a strong imprints of the song in our mind greatly. Then when we listen to the teachings, then sometimes our mind is distracted by the songs that we have before. So it's because though we are not listening to the teaching, though we are not listening to the songs while we listen, while we're receiving the teachings, however, because of leaving the imprints of a song greatly in our mind, then when we go to a teaching site, listen to the teachings, then our mind could be distracted by those imprints as well. So though we say that those are the imprints, though we say that those are the obstacles to listening to the teachings, however, we also have the control over these obstacles to the teaching. So we can control ourselves from these, control ourselves or...
Also, they pakat ya nimbo tiang niba de yores. Le niga yungores ko. Munti shogu le pacha da tishu le niga pacha de yores. This also ngoi to chia la so so to na tia de resko. Kaya.
Yeah, so not only we have the imprints of unconducive conditions, then we also have the conducive conditions, the imprints of conducive conditions to stop those obstacles from arising. So we have the ability to provide the conducive conditions for listening to the teachings. So we stopped those obstacles from arising. So we have the ability to stop those imprints as well.
Can I take in here?
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Yeah.
On the, we still have time?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Asanga's last 5 points, are they antidotes as well? That's my first question. Number 2 is, each of these go to one of the vessel, because I didn't quite catch when you explained that these 5, whether each of these actually go to one of the 40 vessels. Can Geshe-la briefly go through, like, desire to know everything is for which vessel, single pointedness, which vessel? Because when I wrote most of this, it become the vessel number 1, and last 2 is vessel number 3. Nothing for vessel number, the 50 vessel. So can Geshe-la briefly go through Asanga 5 antidotes?
Yeah, the Changsa, Power Tommy, the Changsa, the 去年当内亚的有了，去年年被内亚的送有了，你的这些啦，你的那个跟送卡给开始的年不切的有没？你的就是啦的养家的这些看不到难啥，看是那个的新竹开始的开始也的铁度，你你谈不送的。你谈不上的你万一你的车上你阿的女的谈不上女的你送把的你不的切个有来的你的女的跟你把的的主要嘛的是你不主要嘛的你的姐姐你的女的跟可以你不切个有没你的叫不了
来上这个的了。
上这个你阿的
他的了第一家当满着满不印度是的了第一次是吧？他这两个就是多是对俺做熊了嘛，先当着第一的了家当满着开始熊了满着第一都是吧？这当的俺做你就接受的人好嘛，这把叔叔人给的了，你这个听到的逻辑相当的呢，把真的是真的是是吧？你这个听到人就相当白呢，呀，你就接受了怕家的，呀，看这第一次过段车搞不着的这些都是的，是吧？这当的了，第先当满着第一有的的了。你看都不知道叔叔给去年啊，搞了，捐的了怕都是相当白呢，搞呀的，第四第二的是个，是吧
？Regarding these 5 points mentioned in Bodhisattva levels, then different texts they explain these 5 points differently. So it will be difficult to to explain each one then directly related to each point, because these 5 points are the points that will be able to remove the 3 faults of vessels. So to me, I would suggest when we go through these 5 points mentioned in Bodhisattva levels, then we just go through that, or these 5 points are the antidotes, or are the antidotes to the 3 faults of vessels. So by thinking in this way, in a general way, it will be easier to understand. Otherwise, if we were to go through each one specifically, and then different texts they explain differently as well, then it will be very difficult to understand. Yeah. So in one way is you can understand these 5 points mentioned in the Bodhisattva levels as the antidote towards the first type of fault, which is the vessel turned upside down. So you can directly say that these 5 points are the antidotes towards the first fault. And so explicitly or as a directly you can understand as such. And because if we were to go as a deeper, then they are indirect meaning implies as well. So you can understand these 5 points as the antidotes towards the first fault of vessel turn upside down.
That turn on to deal nimbo go turn yachi turn yaudi manzo ni shadow as you are or ni shadow digi nimbola and yorisco. Say Tanchi Sunny nearby, that once and also near Kabu de la Changa wants to lose. That wants to turn out Shula to the shower near shadow that the Solan in what is called. That the Solan ready by some shit Tawashitawina. Once Chang near Kabu de la Tishan and degrees for.
And the Kongi, the Gaza, Nugi, Guniba, the Tuyo Mitsawa, the
2 months on.
the Dinga Nani, young Kaki. So when we go through these 5 points, desire to know everything, single-pointedness, attentions, humble mentality, and reflect with full attentions. So in general, we can understand it as the antidotes towards the first faults of vessel. The vessel is turned upside down. However, indirectly, we can also derive indirectly is also applicable to the third types of faults as well, the fault, the vessel with leaky bottoms. So depends on how you understand it. So it can apply directly and it can be applied indirectly as well.
Yeah, I have a question. In regards to the second point, single pointedness, I mean, of course, all this is quite logical if you look at it at a certain level. But when you say that single pointedness is the antidote to a lack of confidence, it seems like it's a bit of a catch-22, because if you don't have confidence, how on earth do you develop single pointedness, right? So I'm just wondering if Gashila has any further practical advice on this?
Yeah, the same stage to same because the turn to same they should be nimble. And it is shumba said they have the Boba Nyamba and the Boba Meba, the Madama, and the Nimbo de Dugiro, and it is Shina and the Haguya Katu in the Haguya de Os Yaboyu, the Lavo Yuris, and it is Niva de Kisi Boba de Mewaina, and not Boba de Yamoina, and it turn the Zeji to same to be Maras.
Didn't go on to us. Yes, the Tata name was the Dugres Roa. Denver to Banzibaina. Denver to Banzibaina. Denver to Banzini Dinzi. Denver to Banzini Shuchapo Yovaina. They tell a Demet to get you to Marisco. Denver never don't get loaded. Never chung Dugres. Demet don't get loaded. That made up payment of what you so the dot. So the Pumbut. Pumbo de Denver to Banzini Kiji. No, the Shuchambo young gets to Georgina. There's so to get Pumbo the Denver Meban Zeri, no, then you might need to Maris. Then Yamaris, Yamadaris, John Lavashinarua. Or Dinashi. Pumbo the Denver Meba don't get no, the Shuchambo young Gina. Because the Pumbo Denver Zimba, the Lord in Nipachurko, Nibat Yanoris. Yanoris. The Lanashi Shumba Papa, Shubi Yamaina. This is such a difficult Denver is. That Dilla Nimbo Tewing also Papa Yamba Maiba said Dilla Patembo Chine, Duru Jenny Devaina, the Papa Yang Maresilla, the Nimbo Tatan work. This also Saint Latin in a day, Saint Legat, Tatan to Chetubaji, some Taro, Yangam the Dilla, Simbatin, Muntining, they can't let a chicken instant. Want to be natural, Lega Chetu Matuma, Pesha with the Jumbe, Rikan Zatu Marese Lavaina. Zatu Maris is lava in the Papa Yamsara. In Jimmy Kana, Kanka let to Bangi, Chigi is touch it on me, Delapa, some time. That digging Zatuba, Zamutuba digging Mutatan go to us. Dinner she is. 念不少都是那个，记要呢记得嘛嘛，记得要累的记得嘛，帮着的要偷的念不的嘛嘛，念不的累的帮着的嘛嘛吧，这吃了老板东西，大家都认识的，念不老当都是认识。
帮着他，
帮着的念不的帮着的修钱不累的，那念不的嘛冲着我的，念不的修钱不累的帮着的嘛冲着我的。你来讲大家都认识过，念不老当大家认识。
Yeah, so exactly as what you said. So the example that I would like to first explain is the self-grasping and the selflessness, or the selflessness and the self-grasping. So when the self-grasping is very strong, then your understanding of selflessness, then it will become very low or become not powerful. So if your antidotes of understanding of selflessness is strong, then the self-grasping will become low. So this is how exactly the antidotes, the relationship between antidotes and the object of abandonment, the relationship between these two, one goes up, another one goes down. So when we do not have any confidence, or when we lack of confidence, then our mind is not single-pointed. So we do not have the single-pointedness. So by by having this single-pointedness, that I must achieve the goal, or I must understand the meanings, then it becomes the antidote to the lack of confidence. In another example is, I'm unable to climb that mountain. So when you say this, then you already lack of confidence, or you do not have the confidence to conquer the mountain, right? So in order to abandon this lack of confidence, then you develop the single-pointedness that I must achieve that goal. I must climb that mountain. I must reach the top of the mountains. So if you have this single-pointedness, then it becomes antidotes to abandon the lack of confidence in climbing or reaching the top of the mountains. So this is the relationship between the object of abandonment and the antidotes. One goes up, another one goes down.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sheila, there's a saying that when the student is ready, that the teacher will appear. In other words, if you are not at a certain level of understanding, my question is that should we avoid attending teachings that is beyond our level of understanding? Because if the teacher and the student are not at the same page, then actually you'll be wasting the Lama's time and also wasting the student's time. If the children cannot follow the Lama on that particular teachings. So I've always believed that, if you're ready, somehow or other, the teacher would appear. Because if you're not ready, then however you try, then actually you would not be able to progress. So, so it's not a matter of just confidence or no confidence. It's a matter of that we are all at different levels because of our karma and our previous life practice. So we are at a certain level, we will not be able to follow anymore. Then we should restrain from it. Is that the way, or should we just plot on with it? For example, like Lama Zopa teaching emptiness in a very profound manner. If you cannot follow, should you just not follow, or should you then better follow even though you don't understand and at least get an imprint? This is my question. Whether you should follow something that you cannot follow, but to get the imprint, or to avoid it because you'll be creating more stress, more obstacles of yourself because you are not ready for the teacher. This my question is a bit complicated. So you got it, Ken?
Yeah. Yeah. Di kasa loma gichane nuba mewaina yana di kasa di jang chocho di masowaina di kasa loma ina di tadi chetu waina jang chocho ina lama ina di shagiresa lama ane di sungchu nang di tuimba ane di sungchu di nang res ni tiwa di res kesi sungchu ji kasa sungchu ma shungwe la ngangso di sungchu di ngangso 장투기 요매 니 디단지 제고 요나 아니 계지 디 숭추 디 양 디 할리 가자 하고야 깔리 카보 요나 아니 양소 디네 디레 쟁고 요나스 아니 디 디와디레스 아니 디 계지 양소 디양디 우주 겸니 숭추 디 슈가 도와이나 아니 디 지제나 디 하마 고제 아니 디 룽랑의 인yen가 요로 양开始yang pernah saya nak kita lama sobat mencegah di Tongbanyi kola ini yang di sipo di Sungi Waris, kasi di hama kona ini di ngangso di tele jenggo yonas di Sungi di manya macam ini di tele jenggo yonas, yang na ini ngangso di uju kiamnya ini di baca di siapa gitu setahu.
Tadi deres cerang lah ada ya pun tu seruah. Dia ngangso tanda tu maguna ता उचु जेने शोगरेस दि ngangso pe khasingma ji shuyin ba ngangso pe chewa tari de la machine te chewa jama de la tele shing maris ta tari de la ta machine sui the ba da de la pacha jani chewa jama la yampo ji she thuya shi chewa jama la de di yapo she thuya ko so so malam jene ni tanda de la she ma tu ba ne chewa jama la ni tanda de she tu ba ji 제와 쇼서 던디게 melomje 네 대소소 구노 야부지고 던디지 토네 니야데 개침보레 되고도 서와 다 시구문도서 샤잖아 내가서 델리 두르마도 야른 로야 지요 말 대제와 제만 세라세라네 마쪼쪼 로야 말 야야 진로야 지요 말스 다데 인지미지 년고래 소소 루마나기 준세데 대상진의 비유를 성다 소소그 대한다 마시바이나 대상 시바상지 소소그 비유 납치버 사운도 상 근데지 고노지 건도 바이나 데 농하고 말했고 농 말아봐지 데 네가 비유도 장사를 리그랬고.
Yeah, so it's a very good questions, and to these, even though we don't understand the meanings, then we should insist, attend the teachings and listen to the teachings as well. Otherwise, as it says that if we do not listen to the teachings these lives, next lives, it will be worse. That there is no way that we will develop any understandings of what we don't understand, and it will become worse and worse. It's because of not listening to the teachings in these lives. So when we attend the teachings that is very difficult to understand or we don't understand, then we should have a good besides the good motivations that we should have, and we should also make aspirational prayers as well. So, for example, that may I understand the teachings in the future lives. So, though I don't understand the teachings these lives, may I develop understanding of those teachings in future lives. So, having a good motivations, conjoin it with the aspirational prayers as mentioned, then as I listen to the teachings, and definitely you will leave a good imprint. Then you will be able to develop understandings or improves from where we are now. So, and the reason that sometimes if we don't understand the teachings, then we get frustrated, right? So the reason that we can tell ourselves not to get frustrated is by thinking about the benefits of listening to the teachings itself. So just by recalling the benefits, the great benefits of listening to the teachings, then it becomes a reason for us not to get any frustration.
Ya shida kemene ke tindi utsu jene ke yomarwa. Tiso utsu jene yomarwa. Anda chue shida kemene ke sotan rako shida. Ya ngashi ngazo shansi ki tsatunga ya lama gina pe tombani la pe lo tisi lo mala tisi teme jaya ke nipana tisi mena toni tena ngazo tsatung jesi yorwa. Shansi ki tsatunga yorwa. Toni nye tumurwa se yorwa. Wata ngazo pe jang lo jang lo momba jang sanjo yorwa. That is a Johnson is also Yanu Habore, then about the Jambu Boresra. That she doesn't near to Murua. The southern dog citizen is Loarisra.
Yeah, for us, especially, those who have studied Dharma for a long time, and those who have, then we should, continue to put effort to make sure that we understand the meaning of the teachings. So, and however, compared to those who do not accept Dharma, who do not accept Dharma, who do not accept Buddhisms, then there is no need for us to insist in telling or explaining or sharing the meaning of emptiness or the terminologies in the context of emptiness. So to different people, then to those who do not accept Dharma or Buddhism, then we should not insist. Otherwise, just like a Bodhisattva vows, and if we were to reveal teachings to unsuitable vessels, then there is transgressions. So, however, for us who have studied Dharma, who have been studying Dharma for a long time, then though we don't understand, we should insist. We should insist and continuously receive the teachings.
Thank you.
Yeah, to just.
Thank you so much. Today stop here.
Thank you. We stop
here.
Yes.
Tinzi jinji tamba samo kutsi tinji zinjinje bata tanda niyande bata nyodo meba chachi don ba ta nyeba tanji nyodo ya niyande le drone de kanda sanji chi kumba ba nyodo tote ya tinji tsamo chi no mena chi ta nyeyo ta memba ta tsu tsama me shaba tsu tsama pa deji piso tsoba yimada de kozo kanda mandebe newa tsewa tsamo pa shene de deji piso tsoba ya to sichwa chiyiro.
So we conclude these sessions with dedications. So we dedicate these merits accumulated, especially through these Dharma teachings and these Dharma discussions. We dedicate generally for Buddha Dharma to flourish, and we also dedicate these merits for the sentient beings to have excellent happiness. And specifically, we also dedicate these merits for all holy beings, those upholders of the Buddha's teachings, such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Kyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche. May they live eons long, good health, and may their holy wishes be accomplished spontaneously. And we also dedicate these merits for all sentient beings, especially those patients affected by this virus. May they quickly regain health and their life be filled with excellent happiness. And we also dedicate these merits specifically to those who pass away due to this virus. May they quickly obtain a precious, excellent basis upon which achieve the state of enlightenment. Besides that, we also dedicate these merits to all sentient beings, especially those who offer assistance to others, such as doctors, such as nurses, such as those who help others financially. May their life be filled with excellent happiness, and may whatever undesirable ones be totally pacified.
더 지속되는 대화들이 지속된 대화들이 면서 신지 체례 내세나 단세과 토만 사비 디바바 다니 선지지 공부녀도 더해 근데요 난 네바 가시요리 난 네바 소파니 시대들 번녀도 돈에 대지 표준 소망하는 바 소소도 강대 반응 주지가 효과사 드리지 고치게 진스.
Besides that, we also specifically dedicate these merits for those who have connections with LDC. So with LDC with us. So may those who already passed away, may their negativities accumulated since beginningless time be immediately pacified, and may they quickly achieve the state of enlightenment. So among those friends and members of LDC and those with whom we have connections, may some of them fell sick, and may they quickly regain health, and may their life be filled with excellent happiness as well. And whatever they wish for may be accomplished.
Dagi jene zabi gewa de dan do akuna kambe dan ke ba ji zun lo san ra ba ye te me nim bo rin do se je shu chang ju sem jo rin bo je ma ke ba na ki gyu ji ke ba nyam ba me ba yang ko ne kon do be wa shu jam be ba ye ji da ke ba dan kun do sam de de an de shin de de da kun ge je so da lo je ke wa de da dan je ra do ni da rin bo je ma ke ba na ki gyu ji ke ba nyam ba me ba yang ko ne kon do be wa shu ni da rin bo je ma ke ba na ki gyu ji ke ba nyam ba me ba yang ko ne kon do be wa shu tu sang chang gen jang ge ga ge den jing kyong be we kun so do bo ze chu so ku we le me tu ju ba da so de je gen do xia de shu ku ni ni je so do ju ge lang chi je se se kang je de ju ge cha na be mo den je ga so la so de so xin de de do shu ji de kang de pe de ma le ba kang le ju we sang be yi xin ro ka di su me den je ga so la so de so ge xian de do shu we ko ye xin kang de pen da de wa ma le ju we ni ji re se wa den je ga so ye sha pe si de ba do den gyu ji. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.